Hi, so we've got so many questions from our fans that I'm going to try to respond. Thank you so much for reaching out, and we will try to get the right answers to you guys. Let's start. AFCE Van Gafa, what are your ambitions for the team in the next 3 years? Wow, a lot. Take the club where it belongs. That in 3 years' time we are sitting here and we feel so proud about the club that we have, the connection that we have with every department at the football club, the connection that we have with our fans, that we can identify a team that without the share we can almost say this is an Arsenal team for the way they play and what they are able to transmit to the world, and that everybody is united and we are an established club that can carry on to have a lot of success. That's how I see the club in the next 3 years. The second one, AFC Met. What was better, winning a trophy as a player or as a manager? I don't know. Winning a trophy is always great. Probably I could imagine myself winning trophies as a player because it was through a long career. As a manager, I found that it would take me a little bit longer, but it was an incredible experience, and to do it for this club even better. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Another one, there were some comments from Feyenoord's head coach that Ramsdale got injured because training intensity was higher and he was trying to adapt. What are your thoughts on that? First of all, I think that his words were a little bit taken out of context, and I think he has made that point, I think, in a different interview. What I can say is that we have a brilliant company, it's called Stat Sports, that since the last 10 or 12 years has monitored the intensity and the load of our club, and since that happened we have registered in the last 2 years the highest intensive training sessions ever done. Then is a volume is something different, and that's why we have an incredible team, which is a sports science team that I fully trust, because we have great personnel there and they're looking after that all the time. And hopefully Reece is going to be fit and no more injuries, and he can do what he can do because he's a top talent. Next one, AFC Hamed 14. What are your thoughts on the talented players coming up through our academy? Very positive thoughts, because we have a few more coming up. I don't want to give any specific names, but the work that has been done in the academy in the last few years is paying the price. I think Parris is doing an incredible amount of work that now the sheets that he planted we start to see. So yeah, very, very positive about it. Another one, RTHH Hillary. Tomiyasu can play at both right back and centre back. How important is to have versatile players in the squad, and where do you see his best position? Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we were so keen to get Tommy in our squad. He can play left fullback as well, so he's very comfortable playing across the back four. He can play in the back threes. And not only his actual skills or his versatility, but as well the type of personality and character that he has that makes him real excited about the signing that we just done. How do you see substitutes being used in the future to control games? Will be finishers in the future? Good question. They can be, and depends if the rule continues the same with 3 subs like we have in the Premier League or in Europe, because it gives you a completely different dimension to the options that we have. But I think football is becoming more and more specific, and that means that the role of each player becoming more and more narrow, just to fulfill a very specific role. Steve Leaves, my 9-year-old son wants to know, who was your best friend when you played for Arsenal? Thanks. Yeah, I would say that Nacho Monreal and Santi Cazorla were my closest two. But Hector Bellerin would be that far. I think Hector, I had him as a player and still our player, but I think at the time, when you talk about friendship, connection and emotional feelings towards somebody, those three, they were pretty powerful. Danny FC, who is the best player you have ever played with? I have to say two. One is obvious, Ronaldinho, when I was in Paris and I played with him. You cannot imagine the talent and the nature of his talent and how simple things looked for him all the time. And the other one, it was Claudio Caniggia, an Argentinian player that played with me at Rangers. Incredible talented, he was very experienced, and I learned so much as well of him. AFC Andy, Mikel, how far away do you think we are from having your ideal squad with all your ideas implemented? Looking forward to it. It's not the ideal, it's more than ideal the situation that I have today. Sitting here and being the Arsenal manager with this fantastic player and this fantastic club behind us. So it doesn't exist, the ideal world. It's what it is today, and I'm more than happy with what we have. It's just between all of us try to make the most out of it. Virginia W1, hi Mikel, what are your expectations for yourself and the club this season, and how far are we from closing the gap between us and the top teams? I think the expectation that we can only have is about winning the next match and being better the following day. And when we get to March, I think we can realize where we are and what can we fight for. It's been a tough start with a lot of adversity around the team and everything that has happened. We need to go back to certain basics, reinforce the team, start picking points, and then we will see where we get. What do you make of how supporters got behind the team against Norwich, and how important is that support for the club and for the team? Yes, great question. First of all, I have to be honest, I didn't know what to expect. But I was in the dressing room and I hear the noise when the players were coming out for the warm-up, and that was already a great vibe. Why? Because they were willing to give something to the team before even the game started, and that's pretty unique in the situation that we are on. I always said that our fans are the soul of the football club, and they have the unique capacity to transform the team, not the club, but the team as well. And they are a big part of this team right now, and through adversity even more. So thank you so much to all of them. Ole Gunnar 1991, what do you think is the team's biggest strength? Unity and togetherness, the atmosphere that they have between them and how strong they are as a team. Blaming, it doesn't exist in this team, and they've shown that time and time again through difficult patches. So I'm very proud of what they are building amongst themselves. Apreservich2, who had the greatest influence on your playing career? Oh, that's a good question. Going back a little bit, I would say Johan Cruyff, because I fall in love with Barcelona's style and Barcelona because of him. Then I would say Pep, because we were in Barcelona together. He was older than me, much older than me. And I learned so much about him because he was playing in my position, and the connection that we both get at very early stages. And that obviously formed me with my beliefs to try to implement what I wanted to do on that pitch and enjoy it, which is the most important thing when we play. Hugo Larsson, 26. If you had to pick an outfield player from Arsenal to go in goal, who would come and why? I think I would go for Callum Chambers or Rob Holding, because I think they would take it in the right way. They are both great characters, and they would take the challenge, and I think they will enjoy it. There wouldn't be any pressure added, so I think they will enjoy the moment of being in that position. Semper Fi Arsenal. You obviously don't get a lot of time, but which was the last TV series or movie that you have watched? The last one that I'm watching now, the new episode, is Ted Lasso. and it's been great, as well in tough, difficult moments for his approach, how he deals with the situation, always a smile, always believing, and it gives you a different perspective that there is no one way of looking at things, whether they are positive or negative, that there are people that manage it in a really successful way to do it in a different way. So yeah, thanks Ted, you've been brilliant. Thank you guys, thanks for your questions, but I need to go back to work. Thank you.